Yo guys, it's CFB. Welcome back to a brand new video. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back with some more transfer news. It's been a long time. Well, it's been about coming up to 5 days since I last gave you all a video in general, let alone a transfer news video, because the news has just been recycled. And you know me, I only come here when I got valuable information, and we have valuable information and big news to get into today. So before we do get into the video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I load a video. Also, first link in the description. My streaming channel, my second channel, go and check those out. Be very much appreciated. Without further ado, let's jump straight into it, because I have actually been uploading quite a little bit on my second channel the last, over the last week. So you want to go and check that out, go and check that out. So without further ado, also want to quickly mention this week, or maybe at the beginning of next week, I will be releasing a massive first video for my first ever official podcast with two special guests on. Nobody famous or anything like that, it's family members, but we're all Chelsea supporters. We will be talking Chelsea and quite a bit about just football in general on that podcast. I will be filming it this week, but the editing might take up until next week. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. It's either this week or next week it will come out, so be ready for that. Without further ado, now let's jump into the transfer news. Let's start off with Xavi Simons. What's the recent developments on Xavi Simons? Now, like I said, I'm not coming on here to give you recycled news. Not at all. We've actually had a development of somewhat of a calibre, in a sense, that has literally come out maybe about 25, 30 minutes ago. So this is the recent update on the screen in a second. So now my computer's been rebooted. Here it is on the screen, right here. Xavi Simons to Chelsea is very close from Fabrizio Romano. Now, look, I know it's not a massive development. I know. But there's been a couple people, a little bit worried with the development on Xavi Simons. Even Gerard Hato in a sense, which we'll come into in a second. But I think this deal is going to happen. I think this deal will happen, and it's only a matter of time. Obviously, Fabrizio has never said that it's close or very close up until this moment. It is going to happen. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen very, very soon after I've read out the Gerald Hato news. But I think Xavi Simons is going to happen. I think there's a reason why it's taken so long. It's nothing to do with both clubs. It's to do with something else, I think, to do with another club, about another player we want, which, like I said, I'll say in a second. But he'd be a nice addition to the team, Xavi Simons, obviously. He would be a nice addition. It is taking a while, I will admit. Like I said, my prediction was Xavi Simons to be done by last Friday, and then Hato to be done by last Sunday, which was obviously yesterday. That was my predictions for both deals, and obviously that's not happened. I do think it's a matter of days. It's definitely going to happen this week. If it takes longer than this week, then that's when you start to put your shitty pants on. You know what I'm trying to say? That's when you start to put the pants on. So let's tie it into with the next bit of news, which is to do with Gerard Hato. What's the updates on Gerard Hato? So Fabrizio Romano said this morning. So right here on the screen. Chelsea prepared to get Hato deal done in next days or even hours. It's advancing to final stages. Hato believes in Chelsea project and to become a superstar at Chelsea on a very long-term contract. Fabrizio says it's going to be done in the next couple of hours. Well, this was done. This bit of news was released this morning. Yeah, I think it was this morning, around that time. Yeah, it's definitely not going to happen today. I will say that. Surely it happens tomorrow. Surely. And I'm going to tell you the reasons why I reckon both deals haven't been done sooner. Because I reckon this double Dutch thing, because obviously they're both Dutch. If you ever seen basically Matt Law's tweet, I'm going to put two and two together here. Matt Law's tweet last week was quite simple, really, and quite nice. You know what I'm trying to say? His tweet was boobs. Not a picture or anything or an image, We're not trying to get NSFW here. You know what I'm trying to say? It was just the word in boobs, yeah? We'll do two and two, put two and two together, right? Boobs, they come as a collective. You know what I'm trying to say? They come as a two, right? Double Dutch. Double, two, Dutch. Is one nationality. Who are the two players we're after? Gerard Hato and Xavi Simons, both Dutch. I think Chelsea are aiming to get both the deals done at the exact same time so they can announce them at the exact same time. The announcements we usually do. I think we're going to announce both of Hato and Xavi Simons at the exact same time. Here he goes at the exact same time, because it will break Chelsea Twitter, I can guarantee you. Two here he goes at the exact same time, and they're both double Dutch, what I'm trying to say? There will be a hashtag there. It will be You know, it will have more popularity than one being done, and then in the coming days, or you know, maybe in a week's time, another one being done. You know what I'm trying to say? The hype will still be there, but not as much as the exact same time. If you know what I'm trying to say. And they get to announce them both together. That's what I think Chelsea are aiming to do here. That's what I think's aiming to do. I reckon one of these deals are already done, basically. I think Chelsea are just holding out, ready for the next one. And in my opinion, I think that next one is Xavi Simons. I think Xavi Simons isn't quite done yet. I think Hato is basically done. And that's why I think Fabrizio basically says there in the coming hours. That's my personal opinion on it. I think basically these deals are already done. It's just a matter of days or hours until we, you know, get the Here We Go at the exact same time. Like I said, don't be surprised if we get Here We Go at the exact same time. If we don't, then basically what I've just gone into, my theories and stuff like that, are void. You know what I'm trying to say? They're void. But both Xavi Simons, Hato, both good additions to Chelsea, both upgrades for us as well, especially Gerard Hato. I'm very excited about Gerard Hato potentially coming into Chelsea because he bolsters up that left-back position and offers good competition to Cucurella, in my opinion, and can learn of Cucurella as well. So I'm really excited by both deals. I think it is just a matter of time as well for both Hato and Simons to be Here We Goes. I'm glad that there was no developments whilst I was at work. By the way, if you don't know already, I was at work on Thursday night all the way to Saturday night. So I'm glad there was no big developments happening around that time. But it seems like both deals are going to happen. I'll be very, very surprised if they didn't happen. This isn't like a Mike Maignan situation. You know what I'm trying to say? These deals are pretty much at the brink of being completed. And yeah. So that's the recent updates on Gerard Hato and Xavi Simons. There has been, by the way, I've got to quickly laugh at this, by the way. Mark Goldbridge, you know, gave an update recently, you know, on his United stand thing. I've got hair in my eye, Jesus Christ. On his United stand thing, right, saying that apparently United were after Xavi Simons, and, you know, he was going into detail saying, oh, don't be surprised, you know, about Xavi Simons and stuff like that. Listen here, mate, listen, United don't have that pull no more. You know, you sit there around 16th, you know what I'm trying to say, 15th, wherever you finished last season, you sit around there, yeah, you know, collect your dust, you know what I'm trying to say, you know, when the big boys are in town, after players, you know, world champions, right, you don't stand a chance. You could just sit there in the corner, all right? You know, just sit there. Just sit there. If my mates are watching this, they're not going to be happy about that. Anyway, let's move on to a United player that we are interested in, because we've had recent news, and when I mention a United player we're interested in, you will probably know who we're going to be talking about, unfortunately. So, here he is on the screen from Fabrizio Romano again, right here. Chelsea will go for both Alejandro Garnacho and Xavi Simons this summer. There's a concrete possibility they want both. They want both of them. At the moment, the priority is Simons. Obviously, the priority is Simons. He was the player that we pursued with. He's the player we're about to get, Xavi Simons. Yeah, cool. We all know this right now. Garnacho, this is. I think we've, you know, us Chelsea fans, you know, world champions. Got to keep the messages. You know what I'm trying to say. I think we've got to accept the fact. I think Garnacho, I reckon there's an 80% chance of this happening, because Fabrizio has been saying it every single day since the window's opened. Keep your eye on Garnacho. All Chelsea fans, you need to watch out for Garnacho. Chelsea like Garnacho. You know, all this shit about Garnacho, right? And then today he said now, basically, he's gone a step further. He's not said Chelsea like Garnacho or anything like that. No, now he's saying Chelsea could go for both. I think this is going to happen. I think it's going to happen. I got to be honest. And I know majority of Chelsea fan base don't want this deal to happen. And I agree. I don't think he's a better player than Gittins. I don't think he's a better player than Neto. I don't think he's better than Xavi Simons. I think Xavi Simons is a tad overrated. But there's quality there, and its potential is high. You know what I'm trying to say? He can only get better. Garnacho has potential. He does. He has potential to become a good player. He does. I'm not going to lie. He does. But I don't like him at the moment as a winger or an option for us right now. And also, I don't like his attitude and, you know, the stuff he brings with him, especially with his brother. I don't want that at Chelsea. No, thank you. That's why I'm so big on no thank you, Garnacho. Garnacho, no. You know what I'm trying to say? And also, he strikes me as a proper United player for some reason. I don't know why, and I don't want that at Chelsea. But, you know, I've said this on many occasions with many players, and, you know, Chelsea have ended up proving me wrong with some of these players. You know what I'm trying to say? So, you know, anything can happen, man. Anything could happen. I just don't want Garnacho, and I think he's going to cost like somewhere in the region of like 50 million. I think we could save that money or spend it elsewhere where we could bolster up and need it more. You know what I'm trying to say? I'd rather put that 50 million towards Morgan Rogers if we're going for another attacker. If we're looking at getting in another attacker alongside Garnacho, I'd rather go for a Morgan Rogers or something. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I think there's a big chance of this happening, personally. Anyway, let's get on to the last bit of news to do with an outgoing that got confirmed. Here we go. About a day or two ago, I couldn't mention it, obviously, because there was no other news. I couldn't just do news based off this one piece of information, which will probably take me about a minute or two of talking about. You know what I'm trying to say? There was no point. So we're just going to quickly mention it here because it is big news, good news. So you've all probably seen it already. I'm just going to mention the first line of it. So here it is on the screen. Exclusive, Al Nassr agree deal to sign João Felix from Chelsea. Here we go. 30 million euros plus add-ons on heavy sell-on clause to meet Chelsea's 50 million euro valuation. So we've equivalated, I think, I'm not no financial person, you know what I'm trying to say. Apparently, according to some people I've listened to online and stuff like that, we've got about 45 million in total for João Felix. I think that's a brilliant deal. He was going to get sold either way, whether it was Benfica. It looked like he was going to go to Benfica until Al Nassr, you know, Ronaldo called him up and, you know, he's ended up being persuaded to go to Al Nassr and stuff like that. Look, I don't care. I don't give a bollocks where he goes. You know what I'm trying to say? 45 million back-pocketed after the atrocious season he had in football in general. Hey, I'm taking it. That's a win. We brought him only for like 40, so we made a £5 million profit. You know what I'm trying to say? Habibi, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We'll take it. We'll take it. We've equivalated a lot of money in terms of selling players at the moment so far. So I've got to give props in terms of the Chelsea owners and directors for that. Selling wise, they're actually really, really good on that behalf. I can't lie. But yeah, bye Felix. Felix has gone, left Chelsea 45 million to Al Nassr. Good luck. Never had anything against him. To be fair, I feel bad for him the way it's gone down at Chelsea in a way. But I've always thought he was overrated and never quite particularly liked him as that type of player. But good luck to him at Al Nassr, I guess. So yeah, that's about it for today's video, guys. Let me in the comments down below. That 45 million for João Felix is basically Hato money. Plus profit, plus like 10 million pound profit. Well done. Fair play. Anyway, that's it for today's video, guys. Hopefully you've all enjoyed. Let me in the comments down below what you all think about the news. When do you think Hato and Simmons is going to officially be announced? I think it's a matter of time. My prediction is tomorrow, potentially. Garnacho as well. Let me in the comments down below what you all think about everything. I'll see you on the next video, guys. Take care and peace.